What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. First of all, RIP to Victor Conti. He's a controversial figure in the sport of boxing. You got some people think he's done a lot of bad and corrupt things to the sport of boxing, but you got a lot of people that support Victor Conti and what he's done for the sport of boxing as far as letting people know what is legal and what is illegal. You know, getting fighters to get under his program and be able to take the type of supplements to improve their training regimen and improve their performance in the ring. And those type of supplements are not on the ban list. So he's a guy that really knows the ins and outs on what to take and what not to take. RIP to Victor Conti. Now I got to wonder about a fight that has been talked about being on the brink of being finalized, but it don't seem like it's getting finalized. And we're going on well over a month now when this fight was basically done data. You know, they basically dotting the I's, crossing the T's according to several different media outlets. But this fight, as of today, still is not finalized. And that fight is involving the Ring Magazine junior welterweight champion and what do you got a belt? We got the WBO belt. WBO belt in the junior welterweight division. Teofimo Lopez, a.k.a. Mr. Takeover, taking on lightweight champion, WBC lightweight champion, Shakur Stevenson. The fight was, well, what I was hearing was supposed to be taking place in January, but we're here in November, first week of November, and the fight has still not been officially announced. So what's going on? I see Teofimo Lopez was on a podcast last week, if I'm not mistaken, and said that, hey, he's basically waiting on Shakur to sign his end of the contract, that he basically agreed to everything, and he's waiting on Shakur to come to an agreement on his side. And that leads me to believe that Turki Al-Sheikh is behind this fight. Anytime you got a fight with that scenario where, you know, one fighter gets to negotiate what he wants in his terms as acceptable to him, and he comes to agreement, and then the party that secured that fight goes to his opponent and negotiates terms, and that's going to satisfy both parties, and they come to agreement. That's how Turki Al-Sheikh operates. So I'm assuming that he's going to be putting on this fight. You know, he'll have a promoter basically doing the logistics and stuff like that, but he is the guy. Him and his team are the people that are basically getting the fight done. But right now, the fight is not done. So what's going on? Shakur Stevenson did an interview several weeks ago basically saying that, hey, man, you know, I'm just waiting on Teofimo Lopez, them to get everything done, and I'm ready. I'm basically implying that Teofimo Lopez and his team ain't got everything lined up. That once they get everything lined up, he's in like fleeing, and the fight will definitely happen. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Then I saw another interview with Teofimo Lopez contradicting what he had said earlier. He's basically saying that we're still in negotiations. I'm hearing that Shakur Stevenson hasn't agreed to terms on his side, and I haven't agreed to terms on my side either. But, you know, basically saying the fight's definitely going to happen. But he implied that neither him nor Shakur has come to agreement. So I don't know if it's Shakur ain't came to agreement or Teofimo Lopez ain't came to agreement or neither side ain't come to agreement. But what I do know is the fight is not finalized and should have been finalized by now. So what's going on? We're getting toward the 11th hour. It's November 3rd. Why is this fight not happening? Why is this fight? I'm not saying it's not happening. It might happen. Why is it not finalized? Crazy. That's a fight I'm looking forward to. A lot of people like the fight. Some people don't like the fight. Some people say the style is going to make it for a boring fight. But I just like the sweet science of boxing. These are two high skill level fighters. Two of the best in and around 140 pounds division. So I really like this matchup. I want to see how Shakur does facing the most talented opponent of his career, and vice versa with Teofimo Lopez. He'll be fighting the most talented fight of his career. As we know, in his previous fight, Teofimo Lopez has struggled with guys that are technicians in the ring, guys that know how to box, guys that have high ring IQ, high boxing IQ. He struggled with Jermaine Ortiz. A lot of people thought he lost that fight, including yours truly. He struggled with, what's my boy from the Southpaw at 140 pounds? Sandor Martin. He struggled in that fight, dropped in that fight. A lot of people said he got dropped twice. The second knockdown, one counted by the referee. He dropped the ball on that. And a lot of people thought he lost that fight, even despite if you didn't count the knockdown, including yours truly. I thought he lost that fight too, really. And I thought that fight actually was more closer than the Jermaine Ortiz fight. I thought Jermaine Ortiz clearly beats Teofimo Lopez. To me, that was like a 9-3, 8-4 win for Jermaine Ortiz. The Sandor Martin fight, that was close. That was 7-5, 6-6. If you don't score the second knockdown, 7-5, Teofimo Lopez, he still wins the fight 114, 113. 6-6, you give it to Sandor Martin with the knockdown. But it was a very close fight, so that wasn't what I call a robbery. I'm not even saying the Jermaine Ortiz fight was a robbery. I'm not saying it was a 9-3 and Jermaine Ortiz watched him, but he just fought his style of fight, and Teofimo Lopez couldn't cut the ring off. He fought Jermaine Ortiz fight. He could never come with effective aggressiveness in that fight at all. He was following around, and then he couldn't catch up with him. He couldn't cut the ring off, and then he was trying to act like he was frustrated, saying the guy didn't want to fight. You got to cut the ring off, man. You got to cut the ring off. Look at Jose Ramirez. He couldn't cut out the ring versus Devin Haney. He got schooled for 12 rounds. People hating on Devin Haney say, oh, man, he ran the whole fight. He didn't throw that many punches. Well, shoot, Jose Ramirez shut the side door. Make sure he can't have an exit escape. You know what I'm saying? Cut the ring off. He didn't do that. So that's what you got to do when you're fighting a mover. You got to learn how to cut the ring off. The great Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. was a great fighter in cutting the ring off. Joe Frazier was great at cutting the ring off. It's a science to cutting the ring off. You just got to learn how to do it. We're going to find out if Brian Norman Jr. could cut off the ring versus Devin Haney November 22nd in one of the most anticipated fights to finish out this 2025 year of boxing. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But interesting developments in the sport of boxing. Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson is still not done. Do I think it's going to get done? Yes. Is the time ticking? Yes. If I don't, look, I'll put it to you like this. If this fight is not signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours by November, say 2 weeks from today, somewhere in the middle portion of November 17th, somewhere around that November 15th, November 17th, and we don't get no announcement by then, man, that fight's not happening, at least not in January. It might get pushed back to February or something like that, but it's not happening in January if it don't get announced here in the next week or two. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard Briscoe. Follow me on TikTok at JB Sports New Media. Follow me on Twitch at Briscoe MA77071. Follow me on Instagram at JB Sports 9707. Follow me on my YouTube channels at JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend 9656, and at JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend 8000. And like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.